My work fits into a lot of different categories, and so I was very happy to be in this exhibition, but I really don't know where. See, I wish the lines were more fluid. I'm coming from, being in this for about 15 years. And so, there were definite rules. You were either a photographer, or you were a craft person, or you were a painter, or you were a sculptor, and
Right.
I think I'm trying to be in all those places. And I think early on, we didn't have that ability. You were either one or the other. And I love that the lines, are less defined, and we're kind of in a more fluid place, literally.
Literally. It is so exciting. Where did you start?
You mean school-wise?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Oh, well, I went to Syracuse
Okay.
a million years ago, and I majored in textile design.
Did you?
And whatever that means. Basically, it was learning how to put patterns in repeat, and that's really about it. I can't say we had there wasn't a lot of instruction. It just was, we had to declare a major, and it was in the art department. Just trying to think, did I learn anything other than that?
Were you focused on textiles at that time?
No, the way it worked then was you were able to try a lot of different things. Freshman and I think end of sophomore year, we had to declare a major.
I see.
And that's kind of how it happened. Because I tried a lot of things and didn't like anything, and didn't, they were tedious, printmaking and weaving and I'm just trying to think of all the different painting. I totally was not into that. I don't have imagery in my head.
That's interesting.
I don't. I get my ideas from outside.
Interesting.
I don't usually draw unless I have to.
That's very flowing then. It's all
Yeah,
organic.
so every, the patterning, dictates.
This is amazing.
Oh, I like the way you're photographing. It is fun.
Tell me, so this is wearable art right now. If someone could fit in
that
it.
one and that one, definitely. If you have
The right
your arms
size.
in the right spot. Yeah, I would love to collaborate with someone who, had more of an understanding of pattern making.
Would you explain the process of creating this almost looks like plastic fabric, but it's not plastic. What is it?
Yeah, it is plastic. You're
Oh, it
welcome.
is?
You're welcome to touch.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and it's thin. It's weightless.
Yeah, you can get it at Office Depot or Staples.
What is it called?
Huh?
What's the actual fabric called? Or
I call it transparency.
Transparency.
And there's some sheets here on the table of how I see. After I take photographs, I reformat them and make them textile designs.
You take a photograph, and then you copy
I
it
have to
onto.
crop it and create a design.
I see.
So these are all some of the patterns I'm working with.
I see.
And, play with scale. Like this might be the border for this. I don't know yet. I'm not sure if I like it. I don't know. So I create these after I photograph, then I create a repeat pattern. So I totally need the textile, background, the way I, think. So all of these images have that patterning in them.
And they're so exciting.
So that's what I mean, people say, come in, can I take pictures? Thank you for asking. Sure. I've had one person copy me,
Huh.
and it was fascinating.
Was it the feeling of, oh, look, I inspired, or did it feel?
I think the way it was handled was kind of weird.
I see.
So I think, I don't know, I, I just said, wow, okay.
Right.
I guess you should consider that a compliment on some level.
It is a compliment.
But it's so much about the way I see things that, I don't think it has that energy.
You mean the one, the one
The
that?
combination of patterning.
Right.
All that kind of stuff. I don't think it has that. But
Right.
it was a weird awakening. We were in a show together, a gigantic group show,
Oh.
and it was very random how I got into the show. She wanted to create a relationship with me,
I see.
and so the next day I pulled my work out of the show
Ah,
because it just
that's
felt,
wise.
it felt too weird.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you felt free to pull out of the show.
They understood.
That's good. Tell me about this piece.
The one straight ahead.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? I'm just thinking. I think that might have been my first real intention to make it possibly wearable.
Yeah.
The imagery is buildings, and that's the other thing. I really like architecture and repetition of architecture. So although the background in the back there is kind of lacy, I had seen a yarn bombing, and so I created my own patterns from the yarn bombing. And it kind of reminds me of this coat I had in college, one of these hippie leather coats that I painted on. I don't know, that's what I was thinking about.
How gorgeous that
Oh,
is.
that's just, you see, the collar's just a rug.
So
It's
beautiful.
carpeting that I saw.
That's
that I said,
carpeting?
Isn't that
Huh.
insane?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
Yeah, it's insane.
That is great.
And in orange, it looks like cheese doodles.
Do you have one in orange as well?
Huh?
Did you make one in orange with an
Well,
orange
right
color?
behind you, the one you were just taking that big.
I see, I see.
That was all part of a trip. I never know when I'm going to see something that interests me. I mean, I can, point out different patterns to you, but everything and
That's
anything.
okay. Right, so this is, oh, the one back here. I see.
Yeah, just from
Now
the
I'm
same
passing the little,
That
the little
installation I
circles.
did during COVID.
This
I
one?
did a lot of circles.
oh, I love it.
I was extremely driven and addictive.
And here the cheese doodles are talking about.
But I've been interested in circles a lot. I mean, it's not so unique.
Well, they're so delicately assembled.
There's actually more, they're sturdier than you would think.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the material is very strong, and then the stitching. The only fragile part is that, just like tin foil, if you bend it or you crease it, you can't remove the crease.
Oh, I
So
see.
that's that.
I see. I see. Once done, it's
Yeah,
done.
you can't remove it. It's there.
Interesting.
But it hasn't been a big issue overall.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about this three-dimensional.
Yeah, that was a series. I did a bunch of closed shape pieces. I did large, I did small, and then I was done. It's not, I didn't know if I could do it, and the small series I sold, the larger ones I have not.
Have you ever hung these?
Have I ever what?
Hung them from the ceiling?
Yes, I have, and they're actually very exciting because all the strings kind of,
I want to see
are
this
out
one
and
over
about.
here.
Yeah,
Right.
it's another one. See, it's got all this hairiness.
I know. It looks like it would just be really fun to see like a planet.
I had them hanging in the middle here, but
Uh-huh.
it's kind of distracting. There's so much going on in this room
Right.
that
They don't need to be hanging.
I like the idea, and if somebody bought it and wanted to hang it, it'd be fine.
Right.
And also, you can see, like, there's a lot of threads in some of this work that really came later. In the beginning, I wasn't as nerdy, and my threads are shorter. Like this piece, you can see if there are long threads, it's because I went back in and fixed it. But you can see most of the threads are very like wispy.
Right.
And then I made that part of the piece.
And then you went bold.
Yeah.
You really went into the threads,
Yeah.
which is actually what makes it feel even more like a garment.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
It's true. Yeah, that piece was in a show a couple of years ago called Dress Rehearsal. And I made crowns. I made a series of crowns to go with the dresses because I wanted to create something new for the show. And it was fun.
They're so beautiful. And I wish I were the size to wear it because I'd wear them in a second.
Well, people have asked about that, but so far no one has. Probably next time my grandkids come over, I'll tell them, and they're coming to the studio, I'll see if it fits them. But they're little, they're 8 and 5.
Well, it begs the question, would you make one that would fit someone, let's just say a runway model?
And that's how the animal series came, by the way. My kids had kids, and I started to be interested in something more whimsical. And, again, I've never done sculpture. I didn't really know. Wire was the easiest way in because it has the least amount of issues.
Right. It's such a great effect. The weightlessness of it is
That's
so
correct.
appealing.
They're very, 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 very lightweight.
It's so appealing. And then, of course, the colors and the patterns. I will say that I would love to photograph these in sunlight, because I imagine with the sun coming through them, they'd be amazing. I mean,
When they're well lit, they're even,
Right.
You see that there's shadows,
right.
and it's nice. The piece below that you see with the dress, that was my first piece during COVID.
Oh, really?
The first thing I did when they told us that we should wear masks is I started making masks by hand.
Nice.
And making them for my immediate family, and getting the patterns on the internet. And I saw that when I was with my grandkids and I would smile, they couldn't see.
Right.
So I said I have to make smiles.
Oh, that's what you did.
So I embroidered all these little smiles and stitched them onto the masks.
That is great.
And so very often I make dresses. So that's what, if you go, you can see the stitching when you get close. So I made a pattern with the embroidered smiles.
Oh, these are just great. Embroidered smiles inspired by COVID.
Yeah.
And the masks. It's so good.
Well, you see, you're wearing your mask and you're somewhere.
I know.
And someone says something to you and you smile and they don't know.
We became very literate in smiling eyes.
Yes,
Right.
Yes, I did not, I didn't do anything with eyes. I should have.
Didn't need
anyway,
to.
that led to a whole series then of circular pieces.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. What my camera isn't picking up is all the incredible color. What is this? Tell me about what inspired this creature.
It's what inspires what?
This creature.
I don't know. I think it's a hybrid bird kind of thing. I don't know. again, like I don't really know how to do sculpture. The first one that I did is in the middle there, the ram. And I made it.
Hi, Ram.
When I first made it, it was very realistic.
Yeah.
And I've been working with a life coach for about 25 years.
Uh-huh.
And on the East Coast, and I showed her, I was so proud of myself. I said, look at this, it's so realistic, look what I did. And her one comment to me was, well, if that's what you're trying to accomplish. And I was like, what? Because I'm not a sculptor, and I don't really, I thought this was an accomplishment. And when she said that to me, it opened up this whole realization that that's not really the kind of artist that I am. And I cut into it, and I, just made it, I gave it a collar, the horns were sticking straight up, they became, more relaxed.
Right.
It was such a moment.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes somebody says something to you and
Right.
you never would have thought of it that way.
It's so great.
So, the whole series was very whimsical, all the animals.
There we go.
Because, I don't know, I believe anyone can be an artist if they train.
Yeah.
It's something you practice.
Right. Your expression
And
is
if
going
you
to come
don't
out.
have any ideas, you copy. And it's not good or bad. So it's
There we
really,
go.
I know, ideally, it's not fabulous that they're up so high.
No, it's okay. But I'm able to get light coming through them. They're so whimsical is the word.
Yeah, they really are.
And I also imagine them being on stage.
They could be easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're very lightweight, although I did not really make them to go around a head.
No.
But, it could be done. Yeah.
Like the bread and puppet theater,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
carry
yes,
them,
fabulous.
right?
Yes.